If I had to describe my life in only 2 words, I'd probably say peacefully predictable. Work, college, basically short story long, I was in constant motion, but no day was ever any more significant than the day before. Until a demon reached out. That is going to be the headline. Okay, so for our viewers, I just really like to ask you to sort of elaborate a little bit. Obviously, we've heard the story. That's why we reached out, because we love it. We are intrigued, right? Okay, so what happened exactly? I was contacted by email. I'm sorry. They were very polite, very professional. The demon maybe went a bit overboard with all of this corporate jargon. I sometimes feel like this corporate talk in these emails is just some sort of way to cover up wicked intentions. Well, I guess it was, a demon. I'm very sorry for this dramaticism. It's just my way of coping with difficult moments. I'm just gonna go straight to the point. So I got this email, right? It was from myself, but from the past, from 7 years ago to be exact. You know those websites where you can schedule an email to yourself 500 years into the future? So I did that, but 7 years ago. But I was not surprised to get this email now, just because I've been getting them every year, different emails for each year of my life for the past 7 years. I believe I probably wrote 10 emails at some point, because why would it be more? Just 10, it just makes a lot of sense. Like 10 emails, it's just a good number, it makes sense. So if that is the case, then in 3 years, this nightmare should be over. You may ask, why is that a nightmare, Laura? Aren't you exaggerating this situation a little bit? I made a PowerPoint presentation just so that I can, just for the emails always started exactly like this. Dear Laura, I can't believe you're already blank, insert age. Why is it so difficult to believe that I'm already 12? Then this would follow. You're probably enrolled in a great college, getting amazing grades, living in your cozy studio apartment in a major city in Europe. Nice and wholesome. But only 1 year later, dear Laura, I know you're busy running your fintech startup, but I really hope you're happy. That's very nice. And you like your new penthouse apartment in central London. Dear Laura, we both know you were interested in politics from a very young age, so I hope you're successfully pursuing this meaningful path. And you have become the Minister of Internal Affairs of Lithuania. Dear Laura, I hope you finally reach the place where you and your innovative and groundbreaking ideas belong, the European Commission. I'm so happy for you that you are the president of the European Commission. My dearest Laura, I hope the 432 Park Avenue building in New York City is still an architectural miracle without any clearly noticeable flaws whatsoever, because that's where you're living, I assume. I know that you have an expensive taste now. Let's just break it down a little bit. First of all, I'm really glad that I didn't end up purchasing this $50 million apartment. What a relief. I really dodged a bullet right there. The second thing would be, why am I living in the US if I'm the president of the European Commission, which is in Brussels, Belgium, which also happens to be in Europe, I think. Or am I not the president anymore? Because I certainly was the previous year, so what happened? But I have to give credit to this demon, where credit is due, because they actually gave me options to choose from. In each email, they described a few different scenarios of what my life could be looking like that year. So there was obviously the political path, which, I decided not to partake in. And then there was an arts path, a cultural path, which was not much better at all. So with this burden on my back, I've weighed all the options, and I calculated all the possibilities and opportunities and strengths and weaknesses, and I came up with a conclusion that the music path would potentially be pretty easy, considering all of the, do I need to remind you what the plan A was? So all of this has led us to this moment. And now I'm about to tell you that I am making some music that I'm gonna release. And I know it sounds like a threat, but it's probably gonna take me no less than 27-ish business days to get everything ready, so we're fine because we have time to prepare mentally as well as physically. Okay, I'm just literally just making an EP, you know, a small album. I've actually attempted this many times to make an EP before, and I went quite far. Actually, no, I didn't go far at all. I would be working on some songs for 6 months, or actually more like a year. No, actually more like 2 years or more. And after a certain time, I would just realize that those songs are quite not very good. I would like to believe that that was happening for a reason. I don't know. I mean, maybe I was not ready back then. I don't know what I was supposed to be ready for. Anyway, I'm sitting on some new material right now. And I feel like it's going to be different this time around. I really hope you don't mind me cutting this ginger right now. I hope it doesn't distract you from the essence of the vlog. I know you might be thinking, why does it have to be done right now? Why is it so urgent? Why does it... I haven't listened to the songs for a few days now. That is because I wanted to regain fresh perspective. And tomorrow, we're gonna listen to some songs together. And I'm gonna have to decide whether or not the demos are okay, if the songs are ready to be recorded, and then I'll have to make a plan, like a breakdown of what instruments I need to record for what songs, what parts, things like that, and what is gonna be like easy, what is gonna be difficult, what is impossible, things like that. Because every task has to be either children's game or rocket science. Nothing is rocket science, but except for rocket science.
Walking to the studio, dead of winter, grueling journey. Will I make it? I'm just kidding. I am back, and thanks for listening.
So as promised, we are going to be listening to some songs now. I want to point out that I did not say that we would be listening to the same songs. I'll be listening to whatever I wrote for the demos, for the EP, on these headphones. But I've got something very special for you. You're gonna be listening to whatever I pick from a royalty-free music library. Without further ado, let's get right back into the video, guys. I will tell you about the songs now. The first one is called... by the way, I might still change the titles, so if I do, then this part of the video is going to be very heavily edited, probably. Anyway, the first track. The failed attempt of mine to stall the fate obscured my grasp of just how fast the seasons change. Because earlier in the video it was winter and now it's summer. What can I do to stop my dream from withering away? I'm only just a man. In fact, a human. For today. This is actually the part of the video where the story sort of takes a bit of a dark turn. I'm sorry. I just thought that I would zoom into my eyes really quickly so that you feel uneasy. But I realized that I'm not really a cinematologist. Is this my admission that I've started and quit a project in the same 10-minute video? No. Well, no. I've saved that part for the next video. I did make the plan. I did start recording, but it just wasn't going anywhere. I kept rewriting the songs, not knowing what the songs were even about. I didn't like the sound. I kept focusing on different details that had absolutely no significance whatsoever. I also spent a bit of money on plugins. But I always knew that I was my own fiercest enemy. Actually, even the demon mentioned it in a couple of emails. You are your own worst enemy. It makes me wonder sometimes if back in those freezing days of winter, Did I happen to foresee these events unfolding exactly the way they just did? I know what you're thinking. And no, this is not the exact same shot that you just saw minutes ago in this vlog. Because obviously, I am wearing different clothes. So just relax, okay? I feel a bit strange about this EP situation. Because I've made it such a huge deal in my head. And for what? I really don't know. And I've been telling everyone I know for the past year that I'm doing this. And I obviously understand that nobody really cares. But for me, it's like this idea is like so real right now. It's just like floating around, you know, in the air. And the EP is nowhere to be found. So I have this sort of like a theory, basically, that telling people about your plans and your ideas, it can affect things in two ways. Only two ways. So the first one would be, it gives you a sense of accountability and it motivates you. So that is good. And then the bad one, the second option, would be that it just makes it seem like much more of a big deal than it actually is, and much more important than it actually is. And it just makes it a little bit more difficult to achieve, or to finish, or to pursue. So, yeah. But yet again, if it's not very important to you, then why are you doing it? So that was the Sweet Potato Philosophy Hour. Thank you very much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed. And I hope to see you very soon.